clearly this is a marketing thing. Angel Reese, I'm in your city. Walk in your trap, take over your trap. Post it on Instagram. There's about 15 fans there, and Reebok put up a board. You would expect Reebok to put up a board. Let's never forget that when...
Imagine this. During the high-energy buzz of WNBA All-Star Weekend, Angel Reese unveils her brand-new signature shoe campaign. It's bold, it's everywhere, and it's clearly designed to dominate attention during one of the league's biggest moments, all set in Indianapolis. But then, out of nowhere, CaitlinClark goes down with an injury. And just like that, ticket prices nosedive by nearly half. A staggering 48% plunge.
One-sided rivalry. We got Angel Reese taking more shots at CaitlinClark unnecessarily. You in Indiana having a great time partying. We see all the clips. Why can't you just do your thing? Why can't you just do your thing?
Want to see Reese's campaign, meant to be a triumphant spotlight grab, now feels like she's trying to milk the moment, while the arena is half empty. Numbers don't lie. With Clark sidelined, the excitement fizzles. Suddenly, all of Reese's flashy theatrics seem desperate. Stick around. We're breaking down every awkward moment that weekend and how the internet isn't letting Angel Reese live it down. This All-Star Weekend was supposed to be a historic breakthrough for women's basketball, a defining cultural moment. The dream scenario? Clark and Reese, head-to-head, lighting up Indianapolis. Sold-out venues, roaring fans, and television ratings that would finally make executives take notice. The marketing engine was in overdrive. ESPN hyped it as can't-miss TV. Social feeds were flooded with predictions and countdowns. And then, days before the main event, CaitlinClark's injury gets announced.
Fortunate news out of the WNBA. CaitlinClark announced today that she will miss both the three-point contest and the WNBA All-Star Game this upcoming weekend in Indiana after re-aggravating a groin injury in that final minute of Tuesday's win over the Connecticut Sun. Clark had missed 4 games and the Commissioner's Cup final with that groin injury earlier this month, and now will be out for this weekend's festivities, which really stinks for fans, but you know that if there was any way that she...
A groin strain. The news spreads like wildfire. And in an instant, everything shifts. Fans who had planned their entire summer around this weekend, booking flights, locking in hotels, and snapping up expensive event packages, are suddenly left in limbo. Local restaurants, already gearing up for a boom like March Madness, were now overprepared and underattended. Behind the scenes, brands were scrambling. Major sponsors had thrown serious money behind this weekend, betting everything on the Clark versus Reese rivalry, delivering massive visibility. Nike had limited edition merch ready to go. Reebok was launching big. And Reese? She was preparing to drop her campaign right in Clark's home city.
But can Sarah Spain and the media stop going out there and saying that, like, the CaitlinClark needs to do something to stop all this, when it is very clear this is a one-sided beef, and the one-sided beef is not from CaitlinClark?
This wasn't just a sports injury. CaitlinClark had single-handedly drawn new eyes to the WNBA. Casual fans became invested. Her games weren't just watched, they were events. Her absence wasn't just a loss for the team. It was a body blow to the league's growing momentum. What was meant to be a coronation weekend for women's basketball became a case study in just how fragile that momentum still is. One star goes down, and the entire atmosphere deflates. Meanwhile, while Clark focused on recovery, someone else saw a wide-open lane. Angel Reese went full throttle with her campaign, dubbed I'm in Your City, plastering billboards, Reebok promos, and social media blitzes all over Indianapolis. Her message was clear. This was a takeover.
Angel Reese, I'm in your city. Walk in your trap, take over your trap. Post it on Instagram. There's about 15 fans there, and Reebok put up a board. You would expect Reebok to put up a board. Let's never forget that when... let's never forget the gigantic CaitlinClark Nike billboard in Chicago. Let's never forget that. So, if Reebok didn't put up a board for Angel Reese...
In any other context, it might have been a boss move. But here, with her biggest rival injured and absent, it looked calculated. Or worse, tone-deaf. To make it even louder, Reese leaned into the bravado, using the phrase, walk in your trap, take over your trap, even featuring Bankroll Fresh's track with that hook on her Instagram. The optics were hard to miss. The vibe was all in on the rivalry. Except the other half of that rivalry wasn't even present to respond. Social media had thoughts. Plenty of fans saw the play for what it was. Opportunistic. A few praised the boldness, but most questioned the timing. Critics didn't hold back, calling it unnecessary, even tasteless. And when Clark's injury was confirmed, most players eased up. There was a shift towards celebrating the league, supporting one another, and keeping the weekend about unity and growth. Not Reese. She doubled down. The campaign continued full blast, ignoring the elephant in the room. Other stars leaned into the moment. Reese leaned into herself. The contrast was stark. While some players embraced the league's progress, Reese's moves screamed rivalry, a rivalry that felt increasingly one-sided. One sports analyst summed it up best. Reese's team nailed the mechanics of marketing. The problem? They banked on buzz. Not whether that buzz would be positive. What might have been a bold statement turned into what many saw as an empty victory lap.
Story we have been following throughout the past 2 days surrounds a superstar herself, CaitlinClark, the WNBA star, the Indiana Fever star, CaitlinClark. She's going to miss all the action on the court.
Talking big in someone else's backyard, while they're injured and out of action, doesn't feel like confidence. It feels like strategic opportunism, and the data backs it up. Want to know how much Clark matters to the WNBA? Look no further than the drop in ticket sales. Prices plummeted from an average of $121 to just $64 when news of her injury broke. That's not a dip. That's a collapse. TickPick reported this was on track to be the highest-priced All-Star game in league history, averaging $262 per ticket.
CaitlinClark gets hurt, and guess what? Your demand vanishes because people ain't going to pay up to see these athletes that are ungrateful that their sport's growing. People aren't paying up for that. And we are here, right here. The tickets for this game, for this All-Star game, they've dropped by 50%.
After the injury, that hype vanished faster than Reese's goodwill. And it doesn't stop there. Clark's impact has been felt across the entire season. If you are enjoying this video, please hit subscribe this channel. And please share your point of view in the comment. When she missed games in May with a quad injury, resale ticket prices for Indiana Fever's road games in Washington and Chicago dropped by 47% and 71% respectively. That's not regular athlete influence. That's economic gravity. She isn't just another player. She is the draw.
The ticket prices, the demand fell off a cliff. And it's not just the on-court product that suffers without number 22, CaitlinClark. The entire weekend's economic opportunities have felt the fallout. This was conveyed with a July 18th post from NBA Central that wrote, quote, "The get-in price for the WNBA All-Star Game in Indianapolis has dropped 48%. From $121 a ticket to $64 a ticket. After the news broke that CaitlinClark won't be playing." I mean, the tickets lost 50% of its value. These numbers are confirmed by TickPick website, currently having the All-Star Game's get-in price at $64. And a July 16th article from Front Office Sports, which was posted before Clark announced she'd be sitting out, was $121.
Corporate partners, TV networks, even hospitality chains plan their strategy around her availability. Entire event packages sell out when she's playing. Seats vanish in hours. Without her, that house of cards begins to shake. The ripple effects are real, from merch sales to hotel occupancy to local business revenues. Restaurants and retailers across Indianapolis were expecting a surge. What they got instead was a sobering reminder that one star can carry an entire weekend. So while Angel Reese was trying to seize the spotlight, she may have unintentionally highlighted just how much the league's momentum rests on one player's shoulders, and how quickly things fall apart when she's not there. So what was meant to be a shining moment for women's basketball instead exposed an uncomfortable truth. One player's presence, or absence, can tip the scales entirely. While Angel Reese tried to flip the spotlight in her favor, it only underscored how central CaitlinClark has become to the league's rise. Reese brought the energy, no doubt. But without Clark on the court, it felt like shadowboxing, loud, flashy, and ultimately empty. The campaign may have stirred conversation, but it also revealed a league still tethered to a single star. The WNBA is evolving, and the players know the stakes. Rivalries are good for business, but timing, respect, and authenticity matter even more. Because in the end, true dominance isn't about taking over someone's city when they're down. It's showing up and proving it when they're standing right in front of you.